2023 could become one of the greatest years in gaming, ever. It's packed with AAA games especially, and with most gamers having limited time and money, many people will miss out on some great indie games. So I'm here to tell you about the 5 best indie games of 2023 so far. But first I want to know, what is your favorite indie game that came out this year? Let me know in the comments. The first game on this list slaps you right in the face by making reality shifting pictures the premise of the game. Viewfinder is a first-person puzzle game with a unique mechanic that pictures you hold in front of you can be placed into the environment to make it a part of it. Puzzles start off simple, but as the game introduces more and more mechanics like the Polaroid camera and the photocopier, the puzzles crank up in difficulty. But don't be afraid, they are never too hard to solve and therefore an incredibly satisfying experience. You will feel dumb and you will feel very clever at times, for sure, because almost every puzzle has multiple ways to solve them. If you're looking for a relaxing and creative game that just takes things down a notch, play Viewfinder. And please don't confuse it with a Wayfinder. That one's garbage. The most recent game on this list. Lies of P combines the story of Pinocchio with Souls-like gameplay. What sounds weird at first is an absolute joy to play. Combat is slick, fast and brutal thanks to interesting mechanics that keep Lies of P a fresh experience. For example, handles and blades can be combined to whatever weapon you want, and the best thing is, each handle and blade comes with its own combat skill, giving you a ton of options to experiment with. Want to create a weapon with a short handle and an electric blade? Sure, go ahead. Or combine a huge handle with a dagger blade? Everything's possible. Then there's the Legion arm, a swappable prosthetic that comes with different handy skills. There are a ton of other cool gameplay ideas put into Lies of P that all make this Bloodborne-inspired Souls-like a wonderful experience. But the excellent level design and boss fights are worth mentioning too. Oh man, I tell you, this game slaps hard and I'm happy we finally got a Souls-like this year that is actually good. But what I want to know is, do you play Lies of P and how do you like it? Tell me in the comments. Blasphemous 2 is like Terminator 2. Better than its predecessor in every single way. While the first game was a Souls-like with a couple of Metroidvania elements, the sequel is the exact opposite. This time you get 3 weapons, all with a very distinctive feel in combat. And most importantly, they're all used in different platforming sections. That alone makes Blasphemous 2 more of a Metroidvania, but skills like the double jump and the air dash that were not available in the first game perfectly add to a satisfying feel for movement and progression. The abilities combined with the great level design create a fantastic Metroidvania experience with the perfect amount of backtracking and without ever feeling lost or overwhelmed by the size or the amount of secrets to discover. Personally, some boss fights almost drove me insane with their difficulty, but that's only because the rest of the game is way easier than the first game in my opinion. So a couple of bosses caught me off guard. Blasphemous 2 is a brilliant sequel and easily already one of my favorite Metroidvania. Did you play Blasphemous 2 and do you think it's better than the original game? Let me know in the comments. The only other Metroidvania that topped Blasphemous 2 for me is this. Lone Fungus is one of those games that is well known amongst the fans of the Metroidvania genre. But outside of that, it seems like nobody's talking about it. Which is a shame because I think Lone Fungus is one of the best Metroidvania I've ever played. There are many reasons for that. First off, Lone Fungus really understands what makes a Metroidvania a well-designed and fun game. You start with literally nothing but a jump, and in a true Metroidvania fashion, go and explore the well-designed levels, looking for new abilities that help you traverse the mysterious world. And this is well crafted because the whole gameplay loop of exploration, then finding a boss you manage to defeat after a few attempts, and then getting a new ability that almost every time is super fun to use, is so addictive. There are so many secrets to find, hidden paths to uncover, and optional challenges to overcome that all require certain skills and abilities. Especially the platforming sections that are a clear love letter to Hollow Knight's Path of Pain are an absolute highlight. But only because they are way easier than the Path of Pain, otherwise this wouldn't be fun for me at all. Speaking of Hollow Knight, Lone Fungus wears its Hollow Knight inspiration on its sleeve. There's a downward slash, the trauma system is basically the same, and a few other small details really show that Hollow Knight was the main inspiration for this Metroidvania powerhouse. I could go on and say nice things about Lone Fungus for hours. If you want to know more about it, go watch my review. But first, watch this video and tell me your thoughts on Lone Fungus in the comments. Okay, if you watched any of my videos, you knew what game would take the first spot. Sea of Stars may have its flaws, but still, without hesitation, I call this an utter masterpiece. It's packed with love and references of retro RPGs from the SNES era, while still creating a fresh and modern JRPG experience that is second to none. Combat is mostly inspired by Super Mario RPG, since attacks, defense and skills can be reinforced by your inputs, making this one of the most engaging turn-based combat systems I've ever played. The pixel art with its ridiculously beautiful lighting never failed to amaze me. The characters are likable, charming and mostly memorable, and the story, it may not be the best overall, but some moments absolutely surprised me and left me staring at my screen, either mouth open, with a small tear, or shouting, "Wow, how cool is that?" for an unreasonable amount of times. And the soundtrack is a brilliant piece of art itself. I know Yasunori Mitsuda worked on this too, but most of the praise should go to Eric Brown for creating a catchy soundtrack full of bangers and melodies I will never forget. Hell, he even created my new favorite boss battle theme. Sea of Stars is one of the most rewarding RPG experiences I ever had the pleasure to play, and it already took a spot on my list of favorite RPGs and indie games of all time. What I want to know is, what are your thoughts on Sea of Stars? Let me know in the comments. Alright, there you have it, the 5 best indie games of 2023 so far. What are your favorite indie games so far? Tell me in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.